The Atlanta Braves did the seemingly impossible last night. I had to go to bed to think about exactly what I wanted to say because I had so many different thoughts running through my mind, but I wanted to do this performance by this team justice. After only 3 outs, the Braves were down 6-0 to the Colorado Rockies, who have been playing better this year. But it's the Colorado Rockies. That is unacceptable for a team that can claim to be the best team in baseball. After blowing a game to Detroit in Game 3, travel out west, you start this long West Coast trip, the longest trip of the season for Atlanta. And you don't start it off well. Grant Holmes gives up 5 in the first, gives up a home run in the second, and the Braves just kind of don't seem to have gotten off the plane yet. And you kind of surrender yourself. You're like, okay, whatever. I'll put it on in the background. Or maybe it's a time if, you got an episode of a show you've been wanting to catch up on or something like that. Maybe that's the night to do it. And we'll come back out and we'll get them tomorrow. And that's not what the Braves were thinking. Matt Olson gets the scoring started for Atlanta. A solo shot in the 4th inning. And everyone, was having fun with the Chris Paul meme or, Jalen Johnson is the new one. And yeah, cool, Matt Olson. He's still hot. He's going to hit home runs. It's Coors. So anytime he makes good contact, that probably is going to leave the yard. Whatever, cool. At least we're not getting shut out. The Braves add on, though. So the Braves slowly just chip away at this lead. And to be fair, they didn't have really anything for Quintana tonight. He went 6. He only gave up the 1 earned run, the 1 solo shot to Matt Olson. That's going to happen, like we mentioned. But as soon as that Rockies bullpen came out, the Braves do what they do best, and that is just punish you for bringing out the wrong reliever at the wrong time. If they smell any blood in the water, they will capitalize on it. And they get 1 in the 7th off Agnos. So you go into the 8th inning. You're down 6-2. And the way that this played out for Atlanta, where they just continue to string at-bats together. You start out with the top of the order in the 8th inning. If you're going to do something, now is the time. You're down 4 runs. Ronald Acuna Jr. draws a walk, but they get Baldwin to strike out. Ozzie, for his credit, battles through, and he actually, the broadcast thought he got hit with a pitch, but it was ball 4 anyways, did not matter. So first and second, nobody out, or 1 out, for Matt Olson. So a home run here would bring the Braves within 1 run. Matt Olson draws a walk. They wanted really nothing to do with him. They bring up Mauricio Dubon, who down 0-2, 2 strikes, battles back into the count, and hits a triple the other way, and clears the bases. He's standing on third as the tying run. Austin Riley flicks one down the right field line. It was going foul. The fielder called it. Dubon was ready. And we have a tie ball game. Didier Fuentes, who was going to come into this game with a 6-2 lead, is now suddenly pitching in a 6-6 tied game in the 8th inning. And he comes in and does his job. He has Tyler Freeman down down to 2 strikes. He hits him in the hand. I actually am concerned. I haven't seen anything about Tyler Freeman being injured. But at the time, I was like, oh, I really hope he didn't break his hand. That would be bad. But no worries. He gets Troy Johnston to ground directly to Ozzie Albies. Double play. And Willie Castro flies out. Didier Fuentes gets the hold. And now the Braves know what they need to do. They need a solitary run, and they can bring Robert Suarez out to close the game. And so Jonah Heim draws a walk. Michael Harris did not play tonight because since Drake Baldwin was not catching, he gets the DH, and Mike's going to be DHing this trip. So with his quad injury, does not starting center, so you're available to use him off the bench. He pinch hits for... Who do you pinch hit for, Michael? For Mateo. Yeah, so Mateo gets to be pinch hit for. Michael Harris goes yard. Actually missed it, I thought, and he said he was not expecting the sweeper again. But it doesn't matter. He hit the ball 107 miles an hour at a 39-degree launch angle. That will play at Coors Field. Goes into the right field bleachers. And Michael Harris just slowly makes his way around the bases as the field, it goes nuts in Coors Field. You would have thought we were playing this game at Truist Park or Turner Field, because it was a good majority of Braves fans in that ballpark, and they got to witness something special tonight. So Michael Harris gets the win, pinch hit home run. He comes through again in the clutch off the bench for Atlanta, and the Braves managed to battle back and steal one. They never said die. They kept fighting to get back into this game. They did not have it against Quintana, but as soon as the Rockies brought out their bullpen, they just lit up and saw a beach ball. And the Braves continue to find ways to win games. This team, you could never really count out of anything. They have, I think, the second most comeback wins in baseball, only truly the Diamondbacks. So they absolutely know that they play for 27 outs, at least offensively. And they will punish you for making mistakes even when you're up 6-0. They actually managed to out-hit the Rockies as well. So 9-8. And let's move on to something that's not necessarily as fun to talk about. Grant Holmes got blown up in the first, and then the second. He actually recovers and gives you some length. Gives you full 5 innings of work, or yes, 5 innings of work, but 7 hits off of that, 3 walks. This is something that's been a pattern with Holmes the last 4 or 5 times he's been out. He just walks himself into trouble. And this Rockies team, with the way Coors plays, any hit could be trouble because of how huge the outfield is here. And, I mean, any hard hit ball has a chance to leave. So, Grant Holmes walks himself into some trouble, and just nothing really going the Braves' way in the first inning. A couple defensive mistakes, and just not what you would want to see out of Grant Holmes. I think the Braves should move Grant Holmes to the bullpen. Especially now with Spencer Strider coming back this weekend. You have 5 guys in a rotation. And for now, Grant Holmes, I think, would be better off giving you some medium leverage situations, maybe being your long reliever if need be. But for now, your rotation should absolutely be Chris Sale, Spencer Strider, Bryce Elder, J.R. Ritchie, Martin Perez. And then if you need a guy to make a spot start, you got Reynaldo Lopez, you got Didier Fuentes, and you have Grant Holmes. I think that is the best situation right now for the Braves to win baseball games. So, I don't know. He's out of options, so you can't send him down to Gwinnett. And this has now become a pattern. The Braves have won a majority of Grant Holmes' starts, no matter how bad he has looked. But I do think that they need to go ahead and fix this issue. Now that they have 5 starting pitchers that they feel confident in, you think. Grant Holmes back in the bullpen, and I think that is where he will work the best. I think you'll see an uptick in his velocity. I think he will... I mean, he was really good in the bullpen a few years ago for Atlanta before he had to go into a starting role. So I think that role suits him best with the way that this team is made up. So put Grant Holmes in the pen, let him work on his craft, just like what you're doing with Reynaldo Lopez, and just continue to win ball games with what you have. If it's a problem with the current starting 5, then you give Lopez or Fuentes or Holmes another chance to start. But for right now, I think the best spot for Grant Holmes will be out of the bullpen. Speaking of the bullpen, I want to talk about Anthony Molina, who came in, gave you 2 innings of work while this game was not close. So he comes in and only walks 1, no hits given up, no strikeouts. So just a lot of soft contact. But he comes up from AAA the morning of, and he is able to just get you some work. He filled in for Jose Suarez and Joel Payamps. He was one of the call-ups for those guys. Actually got sent back down to Gwinnett today to bring Cookie Carrasco back up, just because you need someone who can give you some length right now. And thank you, Molina, for doing your job, but you can't pitch right away. So until Spencer Strider is back, I expect to see the corresponding move down to be Cookie Carrasco, especially if he pitches tonight, considering that Spencer Strider will take the mound tomorrow. But we will see exactly how that goes. But I wanted to give Anthony Molina a shout out, an unsung hero of today's comeback, because he kept this game close. He got you the 6th and the 7th inning and did not allow the Rockies to add on. And then, like I mentioned, Didier Fuentes came down 1-2-3 inning, even if he had to do a double play to get it. And Robert Suarez is dominant as always, despite giving up a hit. And his ERA is .66 on the season. So whenever he can go back to his intended role of just being the fireman for this team, Raisel Iglesias getting the closing out for you, you like it. But I think it's really good for the team that Didier Fuentes is able to step into these high leverage spots. Even though it wasn't intentional, I think that is a really good sign, and it makes your bullpen that much deeper on the back end. So, and hey, Didier finally earns his first career win. Not the way he envisioned it, I'm sure, but it's good to see the kid finally get that first career W. So, moving on, Austin Riley, and this is something that he came out, he's like, as hard as the fans are on me and everything, I'm harder on myself. Austin Riley has not been the same since his mentor died. That is something that I think all Braves fans know, and it's easy to get frustrated with a guy who's getting paid a lot and is just not producing. But multiple teammates have come out and just said Riley is trying hard. Alex Anthopoulos has said, we see it, we know it, every single waking minute we can, we are trying to fix Austin Riley, and we think we can. He's going through a slump. It's prolonged, and it's, multiple years at this point. But we think we can fix him, and we just need you to keep the faith. Mauricio Dubon came out in expletive-laden rant and just said, that guy works harder than anybody, and he's harder on himself than anybody else. So, for him to have the night he had tonight is huge. Like I mentioned, he had the game-tying sacrifice fly down the other way, hit it opposite field. Always a good sign for Austin Riley when he has opposite field pop. But beyond that, he had 2 hits tonight, and both of them were a pretty hard hit. So you look at Austin Riley as he goes his way through the order. He had a single tonight in the 7th inning, 102 miles an hour. That's the hardest hit ball I think he's had since the middle of April. So Riley, good there. And then another single at 103 miles an hour. Something to keep in mind for both of these hits is that one was a line drive. The other was, the harder hit ball was actually a ground ball. And it just played into, it played between fielders. So, that's a good sign. It's a good, at least, luck. But Austin Riley is working on it. The Braves are working on Austin Riley. And they are willing to stick up for their teammate because he is going through it right now. And hopefully this is a sign of things to come for Austin Riley. 2 hits, the game-tying sacrifice fly. Good night for Austin Riley. Hopefully the sign for better times ahead when he can get that power stroke back and really make this Braves lineup even more dangerous as they go up to Seattle and to Los Angeles to play the Dodgers. Today's game against the Rockies, Game 2 for the Braves, getting the start will be one Chris Sale, and he's been on an absolute tear after that quote-unquote bad start, really just a bad inning up in Anaheim, and he has been mauling the National League. So 5-1, 2.31 ERA, 38 strikeouts. The Rockies have still yet to name a starter, so I wonder if they're going to go with a bullpen game. If they do go with a bullpen game, that really does spell success for Atlanta, who, like I mentioned, has killed bullpens this year, and they just took a bite out of the best the Rockies had to offer last night. So, good sign for Atlanta. They'll go for the series win tonight and just hope to not lose another series or lose any series. They still have yet to lose a series on the season. I think this is the 11th or 12th series so far. So, Colorado looking to force a rubber match tomorrow with TBA on the mound. Chris Sale gets the start for Atlanta, and he looks to win the series right here, right now in Coors Field. So we'll be back tonight to tell you all about it, but until then, I'm Caden. Thank you for watching this far, and leave a like on the video and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. But peace up, A-Town down, and chop on, baby.